Hello and welcome. This is Cosmic Greninja, and I would like to say thank you for joining me on this How to Start a New City in City Skylines 2. This is kind of my take on the new game just recently released and the different ways that they've done things, the changes they've made, and everything. And we're just going to go through it together, build a small little town, um, get it up to big town status in this playthrough, get the city laid out, industry, and all that. I do ask that if you like the video, please give it that thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Alright, so we are playing today City Skylines. I'm going to build a city based on my experiences on how the game works, the different changes they have implemented in this. So we're going to go to New Game, and I'm going to choose Barrier Island. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright. I'm gonna just leave it as North American theme. I do like how they have added some of these options here. Um, in City Skylines 2, if I remember right, this unlocking all and unlimited money, well, those were mods you had to add later down the road. But left-handed traffic, I think, was one that was there, and so was turning on and off natural one disasters. So that itself is already a huge improvement of life change that I think will work out great, especially if you want to just try out the new features and don't want to go through all the hassle of waiting till it activates. Unlocking all will what it does is it turns off the achievements in the actual game you're playing. So anytime you progress from little town, big town, little bit, that kind of progression, it turns that off and just gives you everything at the start, and then you go from there. Unlimited money is, well, that's what it is, unlimited money. You can begin with tutorials. If you've never played City Skylines before and you still have questions that the videos are not answering, you're just not getting that perfect answer you're looking for on YouTube, you can always use the tutorials. They're very good. However, I'm going to go with disabled on my playthrough. So let's go ahead and get started here. Start game. I named Fort Birchwood. Subject to change later down the road, the more I think about it. All right. So here we are. We have our start area. It's very robust. Oh, and we are actually on the Barrier Island. Interesting. Okay. I like that. Controls are very smooth. Um, if you push the letter E on your keyboard, it rotates it counterclockwise. Q is clockwise. I won't push the buttons very long. T will make it, as if you're looking straight ahead, and G will make it look like you're looking straight down at it from space. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff in G mode, so that way, just be prepared. All right. First things first, I want to point out some changes down here. This right here is the map tile section where you click on to buy more maps, or buy more maps, buy more territory in your city. Unlike City Skylines 1, where you had basically the 9 big squares you could buy, and if you had a mod, you could expand that out, this game goes beyond that. And quite impressively, there are a lot of squares, over 200, if I remember correctly, from one of my playthroughs when I first got the game. So that is quite a bit. And it is awesome. And another thing they added was this progression thing. Um, it's if you click on it, this window will pop up, and under development, it gives you all the different things down here. Now we can click on the ones with the locks. We just can't do nothing in them. Actually, we can't do anything in any of them right now because we don't have any of the little star points. So, but roads, if you have enough points, you can buy up all the roundabouts, advanced road services, grand bridges, automated parking buildings, you name it. Electric or electricity, I would probably call it just electrical, but hey, is where all the power plants are. Unlike other game, City Skylines, you have gas and coal and solar and all that stuff to start with. You don't here, which is very interesting. You do have wind power, but you also have connections to the outside as well to purchase from. Everything else outside of wind power, you have to get the points, get it here, and then build it, including the emergency battery. Water, you can get the advanced pump station and the water treatment plant as an addition. There's not a lot of water choices. They narrowed it down and cleaned that up, which I like a lot. We'll go through it when we go to building their water treatment. Well, a water pump. They cleaned up the piping as well, and electricity, not to backtrack a little bit. But on electricity, you don't have to have the power lines running all the way up to your zoned zones. And I'll show you when we start building. Healthcare has been simplified. This hospital makes the hospitals in City Skyline, it blows them out of the park. I would even want to go as far as to say even some of the created ones, even though there's some pretty good ones. Blows them out of the park. The crematorium, I think, works so much better. The Disease Control Center and the Health Research Institute. I haven't played far enough to get those yet. However, I'm still playing my own solo game, so I will let you know as we progress. Alright. Waste management, or garbage management. They simplified this down perfectly. Okay. Now, when we go to build the actual individual buildings, some can be upgraded, some cannot. And it's beautiful how they did it. It is streamlined, it is simple, and I like it. We have the incinerator plant, we have the recycling center, and we have industrial waste. Cut, clean, simple. Education, simplified. Once you get university, it branches out pretty much 3 ways: technical, medical, scientifical. I know scientifical ain't a word, but you have to get to college first. You just don't jump to university. I guess you could. Depends on how you use your points. I don't know if it would do it though. Fire. Fire and rescue. We are playing a map that does not have natural disasters turned on. So I'm not going to worry about building small or large or early disaster warning system type buildings in this. However, you still have to build fire stations and firehouses because, frankly, they still set things on fire. Quite quickly, actually. Sorry about that. There was this old game, not to sidetrack, that I used to play a long time ago. I don't remember, it's called Villagers something. Virtual Villagers. And a friend of mine, well, I call her Mom, she used to call them normals because you could rely on them setting everything on fire. No, it wasn't Virtual Village. Pharaoh. It was an old PC game, Pharaoh. Well, anyways, the NPC players would literally set their houses and businesses on fire at just the moment you need things to go correctly. Always count on fire. So, City Skylines improves it, where you don't have that big of a problem, but they still set things on fire. Crime. Crime is quite interesting in this game. It isn't as strenuous as it was in City Skylines or in SimCity games in general. They have simplified a lot of this. Police administration are kind of tied together. One branch goes down the police, prison, CIA route, and the other one goes down administration, welfare, city hall. I wouldn't think bank would be under there. I think it would be more under a financial one, but you can build a bank now, which is pretty cool. Helps with the loan options. I haven't dabbled into those yet. Transportation. You start out with no transportation other than roads, which is fine. You can choose which ones you want. If you want international airport, you can get that. Once you branch out, you don't have to click every one of these. Passenger and cargo shipping is under this one. If you want just passenger cruise ships coming into port, there's an option for it. If you want cargo, there's an option. International airport, same way. Cargo option, passenger option. Trains, same way. Subway and trams are basically passenger related. I honestly, these two I think are interlinked. Space Center is going to be all, well, touristy. Parks. Oh my gosh, parks have been cleaned up quite a bit. There is no longer 50,000 tabs into the park section. There are small parks, there are large parks. And when I say large parks, it's not all the exact same large park. The large park portions vary in size themselves and on what they do. One's an actual park, one's a dog park, one is a open field to play sports in that's not an actual sports thing. Things like that. And then of course there's sport options too. Communication. Alright, so this is where you will find the post office option that we had in City Skylines 1. And the interesting aspects of all that. And then you have server farm, satellite, uplink, and telecom. Those all work great. I haven't actually got to experience any of those yet. Alright, so that being said, let's go ahead and move on into more of this. Alright, right here, city information. This is going to tell you what your demand is. Right now, we have a humongous demand for residential because we have them. People are wanting to move to our little island. And there's some commercial demand. These will light up as needed when we have industrial. Before we build industrial, we're going to figure out which way the wind's blowing, because it does actually make a bigger difference in this game than it did in City Skylines 1. Alright, and here's all the things I showed you in development minus these three. This one allows you to draw districts. It's cleaned up a lot. And you can resize the districts so much easier. And I will show you when we get to district drawing. It is not like it was in City. They completely redid that. It is amazing. Zones are cut and dry. Residential, commercial, industrial, office, specialty. And here's the special ones. Some of them are infinite and some of them are finite. Oil eventually will run out. Or will run out. Coal will run out. Stone, I think, will run out. Wood could eventually run out. Fiber, vegetables, grain, and livestock will not run out because So, and this is where your signature buildings are. They're all based on the same as your zones, many options under each of them. There's some actually really cool options in here, and you will earn them randomly. Okay, you could play the same map like 10 different ways and get the same outcomes in your milestone progression, but you could do one little thing here and there different and earn a different achievement to get something out of there. So it varies. As you can see, here's a ship, passenger ship, not very full. Landscaping is pretty cut and dry. They cleaned it up a lot. When it says flat,
How
it means flat.
delightful. Another letter from
Like,
our
I will show
erstwhile
you.
listeners.
You can increase
What's
the
up, honey?
strength of
Me
flat.
and my sister love you.
You can
Oh,
increase the brush
that's
size. It
nice.
is
Y'all
awesome.
got
If you
clarinets
right
and
click on the flat
violins,
zone
but you got
and do
something
that,
most
it
music
will
these days
smooth
ain't.
everything
Look at
matching it.
this lineage traced back to the great Haydn himself.
And it doesn't cost anything,
Let's see here. Y'all got soul. Oh, yes.
which is nice.
A raison d'etre.
So,
Delicious.
as
My
you know, in
sister
City
sang
Skylines
that
1,
part
this
of the
cost.
keys,
And
and he
if you
got
made
it
a
right
mistake,
in his pinky.
boy, did it
But I
cost.
told her that
Um,
ain't funk. That's classical. Yes, indeed. That must be most
and
exacerbating.
it's
Classical
very
music
thorough.
has been known since the time of
Brush
the
size can get very
earliest
big.
poets. Funk, by contrast, is an entirely modern
Um,
conceit, and you'll find none of that here. Funk, as they say, is for the layperson. Now,
as you
let's
can hear
hear
in the
another one of
background, the
those soul.
City Skylines radio going. We will ignore it. The radio is actually better. I mean, the radio on the original game wasn't bad. I didn't mind it. Yes, I just filled that in. But to show you how quick it goes. And if you shrink the brush size, you can get up into the little crevices like that. So it's pretty cool. And as long as you stay within this thing, you don't have to go back out of, right click to get the same thing. This one will slope a terrain, this one softens it, this one, depending on which way you do your mouse, will go up or down. You want a mountain? That's the one to click. You want a deep valley? That's also the one to click. Here's vegetation. You can plant trees one by one, or if you click here, you can place mini trees, but you have, which one are we? They're Birchwood, so like that. We'll tilt here, so see how it's planting trees just quickly. Oh, bam! Oh, that's actually costing money. So let's not do that anymore. Did not know that. Learned one. Don't want to spend unnecessary money. Anyways, here is pedestrian archways and pathway, which will come handy when you want to build a personalized park. Alright, so with that, and here's the bulldogs children. As things activate, we'll stop and cover those. But I think y'all want to see more of the playthrough and how to start a city, more than listen to me ramble. So let's get started. Alright. Road mechanics have improved quite too. And road expenses aren't as astronomical. I mean, look how far I've built. And I've just spent maybe $3,000. If we were in the first one, we could have spent 10, maybe 20,000 by now. So, yeah. Ooh. Which means when you go to bulldoze a city, bulldoze a road, it's not as painful. I wonder why it's doing that. Because I'm on the line. I don't get that far out anyways. Okay, so I think I figured out what my mistake is. See, it's doing it again. Sometimes you gotta play with it to get it just right. Um, see. So, but yeah. Oh, I was going to show you real quick. Say you have a road that you built like here, okay? And you decide you don't want that road no more. You click bulldoze and just hold down the click button and highlight them all. It'll bulldoze every bit of them and refund at once. It is so much cooler. Alright, so back to what we were trying to achieve and wasting money. Not sure what it's doing. Definitely gonna be a lopsided town, that's for sure. Okay. I think this moment, let's figure out where the wind is so we can kind of start planning this stuff out. Ew. Okay. So ideally, we get to it. And you don't have to, when you go to buy your tiles, I'll show you, you don't have to buy them all in the same area. We might buy over here to get some industrial park area going when it's time to do that. I'm not going to build an industrial zone right at the start. I'm going to focus on commercial and, well, residential. Alright, well, that worked out. I just picked a random roadside and picked a random spot. So, I cannot tell you what the rhyme or reason was to that. Okay, that worked. Maybe it was just too close to the start point. The highway, you know. The off ramps. And sometimes that does take into account. So, we're going to go ahead and build up a nice little couple streets going this way. See, it went all whack-a-dong. Gotta be something causing it. I didn't do it that time. I am coming out further on this side because of the lack of options on the other side. So, as we build the roads, just want to remind everyone, as you're watching this video for the first time, please leave a comment. Um, and like it if you like it, or I mean, just be honest. Let me know how it's going. I mean, I'm probably going to keep this channel going on a city builder path because that's where we've started. So I think we're going to keep going down that road. We'll probably dive some more into City Skylines 2 down the road. Might do a comparison video of City Skylines 1 versus 2. Um, Eventually, we might go back to more strategy-based games like Humankind and Civilization 6. So, and rehash one of those. You never know, you know? Now, I like to get a starter grid. I don't stick with the starter grid forever because it doesn't work out. I usually get maybe 10 streets each direction on the same grid. I know, that's crazy. Ooh, there we go. Alright. That helps. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm doing a grid, but my grid is going to be kind of skewed. Mostly because of the fact that, well, my main street coming onto the island is, well, not centered onto the island. Which is fine. It adds character. Okay. I mean, since it is going to be pretty lopsided, guess we should. But you'll discover we can't build certain things right out the door. And we also can't do certain things right out the door. Like, we can play with taxation, but we can't really, we can't do any loans or anything like that. So
This is Second Moon with J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Before we dive into our next selection, I'd like to take a few memento moris to elaborate on the formal structure.
as you've noticed, I've managed to.
For our newer, less able listeners, first, we will be dancing through the al dente section before entering the slower largo movement, finally, then savoring the vivacious antipasto movement. So, without further ado, let's raise the curtain and begin.
Alright, we're almost done with this part. Another thing is, if you go through and rename the streets, which I'll probably do off screen before we come back to episode 2, when we do additions or expansions. So, alright, with that being said, down here, we go under here. If you click this one, it's a transformer station. It's a new building. It's really cool. Okay, so didn't think that through. But yeah, that's basically how that works. And now the water. We are going to earn our first milestone. Now, you'll notice we have yet to build one house. Not even have one citizen in our town, and we've already earned our first milestone. So it just depends on what you. Since I built such a huge grid, we earned points for that for every extension of the road. We earned points for building the transformer station and connecting the power lines and stuff like that. So you can progress fairly quickly without actually progressing. I don't want to forget where we left off here, so we'll come back to that. All right, so this is where we're going to get interesting. I don't like putting sewage pumps really in a water flow zone, but it's our only choice right now. You only have to connect the waste pipe to it, the sewage pipe. You want to connect electricity to it, you want to connect the road to it. It is awesome. With this one though, you do have to do that. There we go. Now it's working. Alright. Okay, so we got that started. The only thing left to do, we could technically take this moment and place our medical center. Because we both know that we're going to need it. And we're going to need a cemetery. Alright. The only thing we're not going to build right away is the waste management. Because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that too. Because just like the industrial, it major effect on the city closest to the people. So, let's just say it is a lesson I learned very quickly. Not one that I would like to repeat. Okay. And now for the city. We earned row houses, so I'm gonna build some row houses. It doesn't cost a zone, so. Now that we got that started, we'll see if we can get to build up a little bit. I do hope everyone's enjoying the channel so far. I'm taking a different approach to things, so hope you like it. We are going to speed up the build time here because they build slow. Actually, they build slow and fast too, so each thing will be as painful. We've got a few buildings. We got some cars driving into the town, but we don't have any citizens yet. Oh, we got one. Oop, we got 3. 5. 6. Oh my God, there's none available, but yet. I like all the changes they've done. Now, my graphics aren't turned all the way up for the game, so I apologize for any graphical looking problems, but I do think the buildings look so much better. Like, they took their time when they did this. The developers of this game really just took a step back. It was like, how do we make City Skylines, which is already a really great game, how do we take it to the next level without it looking like a SimCity repeat? And this is coming from someone, I grew up on SimCity. I mean, it was a fascinating game, but it couldn't do what this does. Alright, so I told everyone that I would show you how to get more city. Alright, so does anyone know where they want us to build our industrial park? All the wind is blowing this way, so it's going to be in this area. So I'm thinking right here. Ooh. If you right click, like say you click that square, you right click on it, you can undo it. Yeah, we'll have to, no. Yeah, that's probably where we'll have to start. Because this got a castle on it, which would have to move. Okay. As long as you bought it, you can build on it. When you push the page up or down button on your keyboard, you can see. I won that. I haven't done anything to earn a rock musician mansion, but we earned one. We'll build it here momentarily, though. Okay. Now the reason I went through all that hassle for all of that hassle is, well,
Pending
because of
updates to
this
our
hassle.
power grid, the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement. You're listening to Second Moon, the epitome of classical listening at home or wherever you roam.
A housing shortage is driving up prices in the area.
That's right, Glenda. But apparently, that's not all good news. We're joined today by an
Okay.
expert guest, Professor Nutbutter.
Welcome, Professor. So, a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
Humans are programmed to desire certain
It,
representations within ideological constructs.
the radio doesn't always match up with what
High
you're
apart from
doing.
the actual rewards
We have no
enjoyed.
demand for
For
housing right now.
example,
We have demand for commercial and
One final
industrial.
question, Professor. Is the housing shortage going to make me richer?
And we've earned another
certain
progression,
metrics,
which
perhaps
we will come back to.
yes, in the short term.
I
Alright,
like the
so
sound
we're
of
still
that.
trying to
What
get
we are
this.
discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction and its effect on the human psyche.
Thank you, Professor.
It is a question of priorities.
The leader of the City Services Division is with us in the studio today to talk about why they're contracting with outside agencies to provide vital services for our residents. Isn't that going to be costly, Mr. Councilman?
Well, quite frankly, yes. It is an additional expense, but the residents have come to expect a certain level of services, and we simply do not have the capacity to provide them within the city.
Okay.
Sounds like we're the ones who will end up paying for it. Should we be worried?
I expect the residents would be more distressed if key services became unavailable. Their quality of life is very important to them.
But so is their money. We'll be back after this.
Makes you wonder how far you'll go for key services, you know? I don't go full on grid for industrial. I just usually do the streets like this. As long as it fills in the gap. Because it will only build wherever you zone. Okay, whatever. Actually, I want to show you the other stuff too. Alright, so let's get industrial zone. That'll build pretty quickly. And as it builds, this will disappear. As you see it. Poof. Alright, so we haven't got this yet, but we will. One thing we are going to go ahead and build is the, whatchamacallit, waste management. Why can't I build it? Oh, that's right. I didn't build the road far enough down. See how what we're doing here? I used to trying to trace this entire circle. It is painful. There we go. Now it doesn't have any electricity or anything because we have to build another one. Okay. Oh, see, that's not fair. Water will flow the other direction. No. The bulldoze stuff underground, push page down. Click it, page up. Come back to the ground level. Oh, that's what it's doing. There should be a sewer connection now. We're almost done with our industrial zone. All right, so that's how you expand that. All right, so I wanted to point out one other thing. You can buy more land. Okay, we'll come back to that later. And just like that, we've earned milestone 3. So unlike the first two where we didn't get a chance to peek at what's inside, we're going to try to see what's inside this one. I mean, we've earned money left and right. We now get to build the livestock thing I was telling you about, fire rescue, police administration. So that's pretty good. Let's do that. We'll build row homes later. That way y'all can see what this does.
Pending updates to our power grid,
Alright.
the city will be experiencing rolling blackouts. We urge the public to remain calm during these breaks in service and to follow the guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for these temporary events. This has been a local public service announcement.
Local authorities are urging the public to conserve water and reduce the burden on the city during this water shortage. Consider installing a low-flush toilet, cut back on watering the lawn, and shower with a friend whenever possible. This has been a local public service announcement.
This is Second Moon Radio, classical for the modern age. Unlike most modern music, classical has always been penned by someone sitting in front of a sheet of blank paper, using only their imaginations as guides. through a silent, audible masterpiece. Now here we sit, listening at full volume, and our souls are
All right,
transported.
guys, what do you think so far?
But let us not
That
tarry.
is our build
On to the
on how to
next
start a city.
episode.
Barrier Island, if you
Local
want to start with one that's
stargazers are
fairly
in for a
flat
real treat tonight
without doing what
as
I
the
did,
aurora borealis
Barrier Island is a good
expected
one
to
to
light
start
up
with.
the night
And you
sky.
start on the
That's
island.
right, Jim. Don't forget to look up this evening.
That's also a
It
bonus. But
promises to be
remember,
quite a sight.
build your industry
And on to our main
downstream.
feature
Down,
story.
well,
The commercial
but
district is
downwind for
booming
sure.
as the area is attracting more high-end stores,
Another thing,
bringing the latest in luxury
I
to
think
our
the changes
neighborhood.
they've made for
You
City
can now
Skylines
shop for
is
designer
awesome.
shoes while
I
sipping
also
a
think
fancy
a lot of the
local
changes they
Starbucks
made to the
mocktail.
game,
Or
the
so my wife tells me.
internal stuff, like
That's
the
good for business
police
and good
station,
for
the
the
schools,
community.
like
Thanks,
this is
Jim.
the high school. It
We'll be
looks
back.
amazing. So I'm fully impressed. I think this is going to be a wonderful game. I think they're going to add expansions down the road that are going to like fully take advantage of it. I could see maybe a city zoo, or let's see, I could see them adding ski lodges to the mountains now that are expandable that you have to build. I could see them adding the ability, maybe not in this one, but maybe a third version where they take something like what SimCity did that last game, where you have a region and you can build multiple cities and interconnect them. That would be amazing. Um, but before we go, I did say one other thing we would cover. Oh, that's right, we got some land to buy. Let's see. I'm gonna get to where I show you. There we go. So that's all you have to do. I think this would be a great spot to stop. We got the basics started on our city on Port Birchwood. So, but that's all generally you have to do. Um, Pretty simple. We'll come back to it and expand the city as we go. Probably get a couple episodes. I'd like to come back with any updates to and see how they intermingle with the city after we get there. So, again, thank you for watching. I hope you greatly enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing y'all on the next one. Please like and subscribe, and I hope everyone has a great day.